Hi everybody. Hey, I'm so glad that you're here. Hi. I'd love to know where everybody's coming from today. Where are you from? Hi. Don't y'all love that? Hi, Ohio. What's the weather like in Ohio? I don't even know. I haven't been to Ohio in like 7 years. Hi. I love that you all can be so flexible and have a moment's notice to join my broadcast. I always just am very spontaneous and don't have time to plan things. So I'm glad that you're here. Yay! Hi. So we're going to be talking today about, I love the hearts. 75 and cloudy sounds pretty good. It's 87 and rainy here, so I'll take Ohio weather. We're talking today about 4 ways to know that you're in the fat burning zone during your workouts. So I'm not talking about like in normal life, how many calories you're burning. This is specific to during your workouts. And do you love that I'm in the car? Thank you for the hearts. That is so wonderful. Hi. Okay, so there's 4 ways to know that you're in the fat burning zone during your intense workout. Number 1, it starts with a B. It's being breathless. So you should be panting and out of breath, whether you're doing body weight movements or whether you're lifting actual weights. So to feel like you're like, I can't talk. So if you can carry on a conversation while you're exercising, you are not in the fat burning zone. You are still doing good exercise and you definitely shouldn't quit, but especially if you're with a group or with friends, you should not be able to discuss your entire night with them while you're doing your workout. So that's the first B. Here's the second B. There's 2 B's. So the first one is being breathless during a workout. The second one is burning during a workout. And you're like, what's burning? Gross. No, what you want to be burning is your muscles. Oh, you like my necklace? I'll try to get real close. It's a dumbbell and it says me versus me. It's from a company, a jewelry company. It's handmade. It's called Fashletics. I love it. Little baby dumbbell because I have to be like decorated while I work out. All I ever wear is workout clothes. So you want your muscles to be burning and not just like, oh, this is kind of good. I can pace myself through this workout. Instead, you want to feel like, wow, it's like my muscles are on fire. So those are the 2 B's. You want to be breathless and you want your muscles burning. Thank you for the hearts. That just makes my day. It's so delightful. Okay, so the other 2 are H's. Okay, so here are the other ways that you know you're in the fat burning zone. The first H is that you're hot. Okay, that's different. Thank you. That's different than the burning part. The hot part is the sweaty, gross part where you're like the underside of your hair gets all matted and gross and people are like, oh, wow, you're really flushed and you need a towel. So you want to make sure that you're definitely hot during your workouts. I've had some clients that say, well, I just don't sweat. You should be sweating. I do not do aerobics ever in my life. Ever. What I do is I do body weight workouts as well as I lift heavy weights. And because I lift heavy weights, which is what we're talking about a little bit today, you get the aerobic response as well as the anaerobic response. So it's kind of like a twofer, which is the best of both worlds because we're all really busy, right? So you want to make sure that you're ultra hot. If you're not really that hot and kind of think, oh, well, my hair still looks good enough to function, which obviously mine does not, then you're not quite in the fat burning zone. So we've talked about being breathless, burning in those muscles, and getting to the point where you are very hot. Not where you're like passing out and sick. The last H is heavy. So what that means is you want to be lifting weights that are heavy enough to challenge you, but not so heavy that they're impossible and that you have bad form. So you want to get to the point where you're like, these weights feel way heavier than they actually are. They're so heavy that as the workout progresses, you have to put the weights down. Thank you for all the hearts. You are so dear. So you want to make sure you're having to put the weights down just to rest your muscles. It's like so taxing to you that you have to take a break. So those are they're called, if you want to remember all 4 ways to know if you're in a fat burning zone, it's the B's and H's. And this comes from Metabolic Effect. what kind of lifts do I do? I lift dumbbells, if that's what you mean. And I use different size weights depending on if I'm doing a lot of arm stuff or if I'm doing more leg type stuff like deadlifts. The B's and H's, you want to be breathless. You should not be able to carry on a conversation. Your muscles should be burning. They should be feeling the pain of your work. My workouts are only 20 minutes. So you should work really hard in that 20 minutes to get the most fat burning effects as possible. The 2 H's, you want to get hot so that you are sweaty and borderline disgusting without having to go to the hospital. And you want the weights to be heavy enough so that they challenge you and force you to take a break. Yeah, you know how it is with those 20-minute workouts. You rock those, girl, all the time. So that's how you know you're in the fat burning zone. You want to try to hit all 4. That said, every single workout in my life, I am not going balls out where I'm like, oh, I just have to lift the heaviest possible weights and I have to consider vomiting. I'm never going to take it to that level because that is awful. So every workout is not giving 100% intensity. Some days I'm only going to give 75% and I'm okay with that. So B's and H's are how you can know you're in the fat burning zone because you want to ideally keep burning calories 24 to 48 hours after your workout ends. That is not possible by going for a jog, by the way, because that doesn't hit the H, the heavy part, right? So what questions do you guys have? I would love to hear from you on your side. I've already heard about the Ohio weather that I'm jealous of. And you've already seen my awesome necklace, which you should get from Fashletics. They're having their sale, which I think ends this month, but it's super cute. Oh, the UK, how fun. What part of the UK? My sister lives out in the UK. I'm just chatting now. If you're here for information, I'm out of information. Oh, that is such a good reminder. Absolutely. Don't follow your B's and H's workout with junk food. If you've never used weights before, oh, Cornwall, cool. If you've never used weights before, you want to pick a weight where you could, as soon as you're starting, as soon as you've done your warm up, you could do 10 reps, but you could not do 11. Your body would say there is no chance. So that's a good rule of thumb. I have most of my clients start with 8-pound weights in each hand if they've never lifted weights before, and then you'll quickly progress to 10s, 12s, and 15s probably within the first 6 weeks. You'll be surprised how strong you get. As far as females go, females actually respond best to full body workouts. I know that men tend to do things like, I'd love to do a thing about correct form. What a great idea. And I do have some YouTube videos that may help with some form stuff as well. I've got some already uploaded there on YouTube. But I forgot what I was talking about. What was I saying? I get so distracted because I want to answer everybody. I can't remember. Oh, if I could only go back to the words that y'all had said. So we'll talk about correct form sometime and lifting the right amount of weights. Oh, thank you so much. So females do best with full body workouts. That's how we actually burn the most of our stubborn fat. Whereas men tend to do like Monday's leg day, Wednesday's chest day. Every now and then I do that. Like a lot of times with my group workouts, I'll say, you know what, we're just going to work our butts off literally today. So I have a lot of girls with sore tushies right now as we speak. So you want to make sure that if you're a female, I tend to do more of full body. You do want to give yourself rest days every other day. Your body needs the rest to recover from all the stress and all the tissue damage that you've given it. You'll actually grow those muscles on those rest days. And some days I'll just do body weight workouts, and other days I would just lift weights, and other days I'll kind of intermix. So it just depends. And sometimes if I'm doing an arm move, then I'm going to lift, say, 10-pound weights. And then if the next move is a deadlift, then I'm going to pick up 25-pound weights. So it just depends on your particular body as well as your fitness level as far as how often you want to do it. If you're new to workouts, I would limit to 2 workouts a week. The more fit you are, I would go up to about 4 days a week. I don't count necessarily sets. The way that I do my rest-based workouts is actually by time. I do everything 30 to 60 seconds, resting as needed. So I often don't count how many reps I do, and I do as many rounds as possible for 20 minutes. So it's not like a 3 sets and then rest. And I like doing upper body. I'm stronger there, so I prefer doing arm workouts. I am not a huge fan of doing steady state, moderate intensity cardio because it actually can undo your goals, unfortunately. So if you're new, pick up some weights. Don't get on the treadmill or the elliptical and all that. Those kinds of things are small rocks, really. If I can get to pull-ups, it's a little bit challenging because I canceled my gym membership. So the best chance of doing pull-ups is probably a tree branch. I'm not really good at those. I'm better at maybe push-ups and overhead presses. Yeah, no running. I do not run. I just can't. What I mean when I say small rock is something that's not really important. So for me, like water is a big rock, but buying organic for me personally is a small rock. So something that's kind of like not a deal breaker to me is what I meant. Sorry, that wasn't clear at all. Thank you for the hearts. These are great questions and it helps me know what kind of Periscope broadcast to do in the future that you guys are interested in. I'm always wondering what is the most helpful. And today we talked about the B's and the H's, getting breathless, getting burning, getting hot, and using heavy weights in your workouts. I'm so glad that you're here. What other questions do you have that I can pretend I know what I'm talking about? Oh, why am I sitting in my car? Yeah, I'm totally in the car right now because I'm a minivan mom. I have 4 sons and they are in karate right now. I can't even, like, right, that building right there. I needed a break from them. They have driven me crazy. That would be a whole nother Periscope on how crazy. Your body adjusts so it's not beneficial to losing weight. Oh yeah, I think your body is going to get to a point where it does get more and more refined the more fit you are. And then I think if you are at risk for plateauing with your results, you're kind of like, oh, I'm pretty fit, I can lift heavy weights and nothing's really changing. Then that's when I would tell you to evaluate what's going on in the kitchen. You'll probably need to refine what you're eating so that you can keep sculpting your body and getting that tight toned look that pretty much all of us want, right? Oh, I can't wait for my kids to go back to school. They go Monday. I don't want the homework, but you have to get out of my life. Like, see how all that's empty? Ah, it's so dreamy. So that's why I'm in here, because they have karate for a few more minutes. And this is the only chance I could talk to you today without someone going, Mom, 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 Mom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go. Oh, one last question. What advice would you give on tackling the belly fat? Oh, don't do cardio. That's what's causing your belly fat. Can you believe that? How do I take a PT test with a run? You can actually, as far as cardio goes, the only cardio I'm truly going to recommend is doing sprints. So sprints are going to be great for that belly fat. They're also going to help you train for any long distance running without having to do the long distance running. So I can do a whole separate Periscope on sprinting, but I recommend heavily warming up your muscles and then doing anywhere from 4 to 10 all out sprints. You can go for time or distance, and that's going to ignite like this crazy unleashing of fat burning potential. It really is. But the key to having a flatter stomach is the kitchen. It's that old expression of abs are made in the kitchen. So 80% of getting rid of that tummy is going to come from your mouth. It's not going to come from the workout room. And I would actually get off of any running program if you're trying to lose weight. That is not the way to do it. Instead, I would just focus on having tighter nutrition, honestly, and then having the workout part chase that. Because if you're doing that steady state cardio, it's actually going to increase your cortisol levels. It's going to raise your cravings, and then you're going to actually compensate any carbs, which is going to lead to belly fat. That's the bad news that most people will not tell you when they are on the elliptical. Any other questions? Because I'm getting ready to head off. And just so you know, I hope you'll find Fit with Deb on Facebook. You're welcome. Oh, it's raining. See, I jinxed you in Ohio because it's raining in North Carolina. I'm so sorry. So I'm on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and I would love to connect with you there. I'm getting ready to start a really, really special program that I'm going to start promoting on Fit with Deb on Facebook, and you will freak out. It is so awesome. Okay, and just so you know, all my Periscope stuff I always upload to YouTube, so it's permanent. It's not going to disappear in 24 hours. You all are so sweet. I am so glad that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy your afternoon. Thank you for meeting with me. All right.